Well, hello again, everyone. It's Tuesday night in light of awareness. And this whole month, we've been talking about the power of the spoken word. That's right, the power of the spoken word. And my gosh, already here we are at the end of August. Can you believe this? School has started all over. We just came through the eclipse yesterday. Wasn't that fantastic? The energy has just been in all kinds of interesting movements, shall we say, right? And the whole the whole lifetime here on planet Earth seems to be speeded up over the years. So if you pay attention to the astrological things that go on in the planet, the numerology, all of these have different roles and aspects they play on your life. But the words that you speak also make a huge difference. So we have a few more minutes before we get started here, and I want to welcome everyone on and thank you so much again for joining me here as you have in the past and today. And please, you still have some time, send out, invites, share this, let everybody know that we're alive again, right? In light of awareness. And again, like I've said so many times over and over and over, this is for you. So please comment in the boxes below here. Let me know what you would love to hear. We're coming into a new month. Next week is September. So what would you like to hear in the month of September? What would you like me to talk about for you? That's what I'm all about. And I would love to hear what you have in mind, where you want to take your life. Where's your spiritual development going? Where's your physical development going? Where's your career going? Your relationships? Where's all things in your life that matter? Where do they go from here? Because they all play a big role on the words that come out of your mouth. But not only do these words come out of your mouth, you need to listen. Really listen. So tonight's show is all about, do you hear? Do you really hear what comes out of your mouth? So I want you to think about that for a moment. I really want you to pay attention. Do you hear the words that come out of your mouth? So let's get started tonight with In Light of Awareness. And again, thank you all so much for being here. And go ahead and, give me some loving down there, some hearts, some likes. It's all appreciated. It really is. And again, please comment down here because I read these. I go back and listen to what's there. And if you have questions, feel free to ask them because, on next week's show, I'll answer those questions for you. So let's get started here tonight with our theme. Do you hear what you speak? So give that some serious thought. Think a little bit, really, when you start paying attention, instead of just talking. Really pay attention and hear what those words are that you're saying. Words of commitment, like, yeah, I'll meet you for lunch, no problem. Okay, where are we going to meet? Sure, I'll be there. And then you don't show up. Life catches up with us sometime. It really does. But if the person you were going to have lunch with isn't someone you really care about, that, you're saying that just so that they don't, you can get away from them, so you make a comment, you make a commitment, and then you just don't show up. You're doing an injustice not only to yourself, but to the person that came there to meet with you because you committed. What are you portraying here? What kind of integrity do you have, right? What's your integrity? Because those words that you speak are all about who you are. They distinguish who you are and what your integrity is. Do you just use words in passing? It don't matter, right? They'll forget about it. Really? Think about it. Think about it. What has someone said to you that kind of struck you and kind of hurt you? Or maybe they've also done that. You've had that done to you, where someone said, oh yeah, they'd meet you, and then don't show up. No phone call, no nothing. Have the courtesy to respect that other person. Honor your word. Be true to what you speak. So listen to what you're saying and what you're committing to. Put it in your notes, put it on your calendar. People are taking you serious. Well, if you don't take what you say serious and you don't follow through with what you're committing to, how do you expect to move up the ladder, shall we say, in business, whether you're working for someone else or you're in business for yourself? Would you say that to a client? Would you commit to meeting a client and then just not show up? And then expect them to just buy whatever excuse you had and then reschedule and don't show up again? Word gets out. They say, bad news travels fast. Well, it really does. It really does. So honor what you say. Follow through and do what you commit to. And if there's someone you don't want to meet, if there's someone you don't want to have lunch with, then just say, no. No. That's a hard word. It's a hard word to say because it's a hard word to hear. Because we do what? We interpret those no's. We hear that, no, I'm not interested, as a rejection. We take it as a personal hit. When really, in essence, it's not. It's not. It's being truthful. And so honor someone's truth. There's billions and billions of people out here in the world. So just because one person says no, don't take it personal. For gosh sakes, don't take it personal. It's not meant that way. We all have chemistry. And sometimes that chemistry is what gives us, a little friction or just that inside gut feeling of knowing that, I just don't want to be around that person. I just don't want that person in my circle of friends, in what I do. It's okay. It's okay to have that. Just say no. You're not being hurtful to that person. You're being truthful. I have no interest. It's just the way it is. And then the person on the other side needs to honor that as well. So that's a dual honoring on both sides of the fence. So please don't give false hope by saying something and committing to something that you're not intentionally ever going to follow through with. So give that some serious thought. Other words, that we're saying. It's like, oh my gosh, someone's doing something. You just got to stop doing that. And it might even be a good thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. And what we label good or bad, we talked about that in previous months with that duality thing. It's like, oh man, this is just killing me. Whoa. Listen to those words. You're laying claim to it by saying this is just and me. And then you use the word killing. What does that say? That's an impact. Because what you speak and what you're asking for, this is your creation. So that word killing, that's very powerful. And so this activity that's happening, whether it's a fun activity, you're injecting it as being something that's going to kill you. Now you say, well, I didn't really mean it that way. Well, that might be true. That might be true. But you know what? The creator, in which you become a co-creator by the words that you speak, doesn't distinguish that. It doesn't. It's taking those words actually is what they're meant. It's what they're meant. When you start working with other people in different cultures and they're learning, they're new to the English language, right? So they don't understand some of the slang. Just like other cultures, we don't understand their slang. So we need to really be careful. People are taking you for your word. They're taking you for that impact of what that means. And it might be confusing. Why would someone say that these things that I'm doing for them is killing them? Why? I just don't understand. Why is that? Yet someone in the same culture with the same language understands that you're saying that in jest, but as the creation of these words of what you're setting out there as being your truth are just going to happen. You know, when you make a comment, if you're looking to get out of doing something, you know, maybe you want to take an extra day of work and you don't just want to say, I need a day off, right? You say, you pretend that you're sick, and so you call in sick. How many times have you done that? Right? How many times have you just tried to get out of, you know, maybe not going to the movie with someone, or not having lunch with them, or not having to do something you committed to, like, you know, helping someone move, let's say. You know, all these coincidences. I know you know what I'm talking about. And the easiest thing to do is come say, oh, well, you know, that you got sick. But you really didn't. Because you were afraid to do what? You were afraid to say no. Out of, you didn't want to look bad. You didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You didn't want to just say no because you just didn't want to do it. It's like, no, I just really don't feel up to doing anything today. You know? Ask me another time. You know? And mean that when you say that. But say no. The world would be a lot healthier place if we just listened to the words that we spoke. And we spoke with truth. We spoke with integrity. We spoke in depth and in meaning. And took everything literally the way it's meant to be. Because creation does that. Creation does that. Creator did not make junk. You are not junk. Because you were made in the likeness, in the image of. So when you became co-creator, that's part of your enjoyment here on this planet, is to create the illusion of what you want in this illusionary world. To create what's going to make you comfortable. To interact with others out there. So it's really important to know what it is that you're creating here and that power that you've been given. The power of the spoken word is not just a false statement. It's factual and it's true. You become what you do. You become what you say. So you better start really listening to what you're speaking and what others are speaking. And if you don't understand, or you sense something a little maybe out of whack or uncomfortable with what someone is telling you, with what someone is committing to, then speak up and say, you know, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a hesitation here. You know, let them off the hook. If you've got other plans, or you really don't feel that you want to join me or help me or do this with me or go there with me, whatever the case may be, you know, I'm okay with it. Just tell me, because I want to know so that I have time to find someone else. So don't lead someone on. And if you feel that you feel like you're being led on, then speak that up, because that's what you need to do as the participant, in this situation, in this event. There's always two sides of a story. Your side and their side. And the only one that matters is your own. It's your own. Doesn't matter what their side is. Right? So don't be afraid to ask. I'm really depending. Listen, that word, depending. I'm really depending on you. Please don't let me down. And if something comes up between now and then, please, please, please be sure and call me so that I can get someone else to fill in. So if you're not positive that you can, whatever it is you've asked, please tell me now so that I can find someone that is. And have the guts to say, I really don't. And don't feel uncomfortable to have to ask that. It's unfortunate that these things have to happen sometime, but it will save you in the long run. Being on the opposite end of a letdown, of a betrayal, of a what's wrong with me, why didn't, all these unanswered questions. And that leads back into judgment. So being honest and truthful is all a part of that power in that spoken word. So really, really get serious and start listening to what you speak. And speak the truth as it is with you in that moment. And yes, you may be serious in that commitment at the time. But you know what? There's this thing called life. And sometimes life just happens. Because you don't always know. It's not a pre-planned thing that something comes up. But have the courtesy to let the other person know. And just say, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to follow through with my commitment. You don't need to use the word sorry, right? Just say, it's not going to happen. I hope I've given you enough time. I just found out I had an emergency over here, and I'm just not going to make it. Please forgive me. But don't say you're sorry, this sorry thing. You can apologize, Hey, I apologize. I didn't know this was happening. This just come up. It sets precedent. I'm not belittling what you're doing. I just can't make it. So please, I hope this doesn't put you in a bind. But you know what? Give this person a call or give that person a call, because I know they weren't doing anything today, and maybe they can take my place. Or maybe you can even find someone to take your place and just say, whoa, hey, I had this event come up. I had something come up that I can't make it, but I talked to, and this person and I do, and they said they'd love to fill in for me. I hope that's okay. Here's their phone number. You can, contact them and they'll verify. So all of these things, that is honoring the other person. But at the same time, this honors the integrity and the truth of who you are. So become a great listener. Really, really be conscientious of the words that you speak. Because those words are very, very powerful. Very powerful. And that's what makes you who you are. Those words, that truth that you speak, make you who you are. And you're all wonderful, loving, considerate, and very highly integrity-bearing human beings out there. That was a mouthful. Please don't ask me to say that one again. But, I really love every one of you for being here tonight, sharing this video. And if you got something out of it, please comment to me. Just don't push the like button. Tell me what you liked about the content that you're receiving here so that I can continue with this. And again, let me know what you want to hear about, right? Because eventually I'd like to invite people onto my show And if you would like to be on the show, what would you like to talk about? What's the subject of interest for you? Please comment and let me know. So I am going to sign off for tonight and say thank you again so much for being here. And I mean that from the depth of my heart. That is my sincerity, and that is my spoken truth to you. So everyone, go and have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.